Good afternoon. It is the day before everything really starts, April 22nd, and everybody is arriving for General Conference. My husband and I, who are both delegates, were able to get checked into our hotel, and other delegates from Baltimore Washington Conference. Sounds like there were two flights that got in at the same time, so it's great getting to see folks. We had seen a couple of folks who had come in earlier. I'm in the room that's going to be the plenary session, and behind me is where delegates will be sitting. This will be my left, is where the observers will be sitting. So it's off to the side. The room is kind of long and narrow, so there's actually three connected ballrooms it seems that they're using two for delegate seating and for observers. And then around the side, they also have all of the displays. So a number of the displays are already set up. I'll post. I got a selfie with Philip William Otterbein, which is great. Many of you know that my family our roots are in the Evangelical United Brethren Church. So delegates are arriving. It's gotten a lot busier in the convention center from yesterday. Yesterday there were folks here, but certainly a lot more people. Folks are getting registered. As a reminder, if you're registering, make sure that you bring your credential card as well as your photo ID. And then once you've registered, you can use your ID. You've got a cool scan code, QR code, and you can go pick up your interpretation device that you'll be able to use that delegates will use. And I think often observers can get those as well, but definitely delegates to be able to use both in committees and in the plenary session. There are some trainings tonight, for example, for the heads of delegation, and a lot of the committees that are part of organizing the work of General Conference are working today. So there's a lot more happening today, still not as busy as it'll be. And delegates, as they're getting checked into their hotel, coming to the convention center, are getting a lay of the land, checking out spaces like this, checking out the displays that are up already, finding out where their legislative committee rooms will be, even though we're really going to start in plenary. So you can check my page for earlier posts that have links. You'll be able to watch the live stream of plenary sessions. And so delegates are also beginning to really get the momentum around work that is ahead. There was a wonderful infographic from United Methodist Communications that I shared on my Facebook page, and you can check that out. That has the numbers of General Conference, including over 1,000 petitions that have been submitted. Those will be divided between legislative committees who will process them to begin to bring them back for plenary. But there certainly is a groundswell around 3Rs, the legislative priorities around regionalization, around the revised social principles, and removal of the restrictive language. And so you'll see and hear a lot of work that's going to go into prioritizing those. Some of the legislative committees have pieces of the legislation that needs to happen for those, and some of the committees don't have any. They have lots of other legislation, but none that go to those pieces. Also watch for discussion around the Episcopal Fund, that fund that pays our bishops. And there's been a lot of information from our General Counsel on Finance and Administration for years, but certainly recently leading up to General Conference, on how that fund is running out of money and what that may mean that we need to do or not do in terms of the election of bishops. And so those are some of the key things that you're going to be hearing about as we get into the work of General Conference. If you're here, you can visit the exhibits. Some of them, again, are not set up. Cokesbury is still setting up. You can get your picture taken at Archives and History, not only with Otterbein, but with other cartoon versions of some of those early church leaders in our Methodist tradition. You can check out a wonderful display from United Methodist Communications. Our general agencies have setups, and lots of vendors who have things set up. So I hope that you'll continue to check in. If you've got questions, if you're curious about where something is set up or what things look like, let me know, post it as a comment, and I'm happy to try to get to that this week. Have a wonderful afternoon. And again, we're gearing up to begin tomorrow morning. We'll start with delegate training, a delegate orientation, and that is going to be here in this hall, which will probably not be this quiet again for a very long time.